Topic to identity.
You remember what?
Yes, what are uh, the the number three? What are
Mm-hmm.
the criteria established by the EMS to tell if you have ADHD?
Okay.
Uh, where they talk about these parameters when maybe like if you if you yeah if 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 this disease um is a issue for your career or your familiar or your professional um, behavior, you know.
Okay.
So like this is the most clear for me.
Okay. That's one of the five that they
Yeah.
say, no? Good. Good one, brother. Good, good, good. Okay, what about Silvana? Which one do you remember the most? Are you there, girl?
Eh,
Okay.
Number 6.
Number six. Why number
The
six?
easiest one. Because women are more
Who? Again?
women.
Women. Yes.
No,
You said women. Women doesn't exist.
of course I didn't say that.
You said women.
Women are more harder to detect. Well,
Eliminate more.
ADHD. Okay, it's harder to detect in women because they are more hyperactive. No, high. No, is it hyperactive?
You transformed from English and to Spanglish. The first pronunciation was correct.
Hyperactive?
Exactly. Hyperactive.
Yeah, they are constantly doing many things, so it is
Oh,
a little bit more difficult to detect that there's a disorder.
that's exactly the opposite of what is in the video.
Really?
Aha. Totally, totally the opposite. Aha. We're gonna check that in a moment. Because they are talking about hyperactivity, but one of them, which one do you think is more obvious? A person that is hyperactive or a person that is distracted?
First one.
The first one.
So, according to the video, it's men. Men are hyperactive, or usually, and oh, well, men with ADHD are hyperactive, and women with ADHD are usually distracted. It's the opposite. In a moment, we're gonna see that. Okay, we're gonna check that. Let's hope we can reach number six. But all right, let's go now with Jesse. Which one do you remember the most?
I know the second question. Yes, the second. The second question, the MC, it's a manual.
Wait, it's not a C.
What? What?
It's not a C. It's not DMC.
Sorry, DMC?
See,
Yes.
the letter C is a different letter.
Uh,
A
I
B
don't
C
understand.
D.
DMC, I say.
But this is not a letter C. This letter,
D.
this letter is not a letter C.
Okay. S? Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Sorry, teacher. Yes.
Okay, again. So what's a
Um,
DMS?
okay, what is the DMS? It's a manual with I don't know sure of the pronunciation criterias
Good, 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 good.
criterias about the behavior of a person, and this with this manual, psychology or how do you say psychiatrists?
That's your vocabulary. I think it's in the vocabulary, but I don't remember.
Yes, but the pronunciation is difficult.
Okay, let's go through this. It's with a Y. So, syllable number 1.
Psy.
Sai. Excellent. Number 2.
Psy. I am not sure. Go.
Okay, the soundboard. We need the soundboard. Let me open it. Just a second.
Psycho.
Yes, yes.
Psychotherapy.
Wait. Size number 2.
I think it's go.
Oh.
Oh.
So number 2.
Oh. Psycho.
Psycho. Very good. Number 3. This symbol is the one that is more important.
Okay. Psychotherapy.
Don't go further. Number 3 yet.
Psycho.
Don't put it together. You are putting together the 2 syllables that should be separated. Syllable number 2 is co. And syllable number 3 is th. Th. It's not coth. It's cotha.
Costa.
Exactly. Kinda. You have a similar issue as Isaac, because Isaac is pronouncing the letter T very strong.
Yes, with though.
Though, exactly. Though,
Yeah.
yesterday we discovered that it was not toe. Similar case in this case. You need to put your tongue between your teeth.
Okay. See?
Teeth. The. Perfect. And blow. The.
But the
Exactly. Psycho.
psycho that it's correct that?
You are transforming it into a D. Don't transform it into a D. It's a TH, not a D.
Okay.
Excellent. Very good. Psychotherapist.
Psychotherapist.
Perfect. Actually, you can practice with the word therapy.
Therapy.
Exactly. Very good pronunciation.
Therapy.
There's a f, right? And it's not a ta. No, it's very different, right? So, psychotherapist.
Psychotherapist.
Good.
Okay.
So, what do psychotherapists do with the DMS?
Psychotherapist check the behavior of the people and with for example with a 5 criteria, or I don't know, maybe another disease. I can't pronounce criteria.
You can.
Criteria. You can diagnostic.
Oh, that's a noun.
Diagnose.
In present.
Diagnose.
Kinda.
Diagnose.
Exactly. No.
Diagnose.
Exactly.
Diagnose.
You can diagnose.
Mhm.
Yes, you can diagnose in this case age ADHD.
Perfect. Very good. You only need to be careful with the acronyms. Acronyms are the alphabet. Come on, eh? Very good, guys. Well, let's begin with the first part. Okay, the first part is going to be what's a key criteria to prescribe ADHD, and we are going to use the vocabulary if it's necessary. All right here. So let's keep it over here. And let's question number 1. Let's go with Isaac. You're gonna begin, right? Let's start over here.
No, please.
A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
Action.
Yes. Come on. I think that it says a key criteria is it shows up and a very something.
Very something. Okay. Let's go to
Yes.
the second repetition.
A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
Okay. I think there is a key criteria of no a key criteria for ADHD.
You are giving me the acronym.
Yes.
Very bad. Very, very bad.
Okay, a key criteria of attention for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Excellent. You see? Attention deficit
Hyperactivity
hyperactivity
disorder.
disorder.
Huh? Is it
Excellent.
shows up? Is it shows up very early period of life, I think.
Yes, you are very, very close.
Okay.
So let's listen to it and pay special attention to small details. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go.
A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
Yes. So remove this one.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. I think that it says it shows up in a very early period of life. And
Yes, very good at showing that you need a connector, but that's not the connector.
I think that a key criteria for attention hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up
That.
and is that it shows up at a very
Exactly.
early.
You finished.
Okay.
Excellent, brother. That's correct. That's completely correct. She pronounces that, and the connector at is a connector for a specific time. That's the
Okay.
reason we use at. You cannot use in because we are talking about age.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, remember when you're talking about age, periods of time, specific moments, we use at.
Okay.
That's new. Good job, brother. Good job. In 3 chances, eh? Very good. Let's go to the next one. Go, Rafa. What is the DMS?
Okay, teacher.
Let's listen.
And that's according to the DSM, a manual
The DSM, not the DMS. What's going on here? DSM.
First
DSM. Yes, first correction. And okay, that's better. All right, now we can listen to it.
published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Okay. I was lost in the first part, but
Okay,
doctors use for disorder size.
excellent. Doctors use for disorder what?
Disorder size.
The size doesn't exist.
Okay. So again.
But before, no, wait. Because you heard a word, but you went to the spelling in your mind, and it transformed into the size. Because you know the word. You are talking about illness, no?
Yes. Yeah.
But the spelling.
Is this disease?
Ah.
Disease.
Exactly.
Yes. I forget the pronunciation.
Exactly. The pronunciation is super important. This is. There we go. Let's listen again.
And
Okay.
according with standards by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
They never said disease.
Doctors use for diagnose mental disorders.
Okay. For what?
Doctors use for diagnose.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Is the word? No.
Continue.
Diagnose.
Mental. Ah, I got diagnosed. Okay. Uh-huh.
Diagnose mental disorders.
Disorders plural, right? Okay.
Dot.
That sounds much better.
Mental disorders. Dot. I think.
Mental disorders, period. Not dot.
Period.
Dot is used for internet.
Okay. So when I want to talk about dot is period.
No, that is suspensive points.
Okay, suspensive points.
Uh-huh.
Just this way.
Exactly. Period is an interruption of ideas. Suspensive points is acts as suspension, and dot is for websites, URLs. www.cartoonnetwork.com.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
So let's go for the next one. Final repetition.
Final.
Yes, one more.
Okay.
Guide manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
I don't understand the part of sentence criteria.
Okay. Uh-huh. There is some vocabulary that we need here. I really hope that my past self put this word over here. My past self did it. It's question in the second part, word number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pronunciation.
Standardized.
Again, check the symbols.
Uh,
Separate by syllables.
standardized. Standard. Stand, standardized.
Excellent. Again, three
Standardized.
standardized. 4 syllables. Standard.
Standardized.
Perfect. That's standardized. What's standardized? To make all the things of a particular type have the same features or level of quality. If something is standardized, is becoming standard. For example, the creation of processes in a business is to standardize the service to the public,
Yeah.
right? Now let's listen again. Final repetition.
Okay. Okay.
Criteria for attention deficit, they're published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Standardized.
Pronunciation again.
Standardized.
What is that?
Standardized.
Excellent.
Standardized.
Standardize.
That doctors use for diagnose mental disorders.
Ah, okay. It's at the beginning. Okay. Did you say that doctors or the doctors?
Yes, the doctors
The
make
doctors.
more sense.
Kinda. Because according to lesson in the second month or third month, in the past month, we saw the article there, remember?
Ah, okay, standard.
And when we are talking in general, you don't need the.
Well, so maybe without that, but suspensive points because there's a word
I
there.
agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's take the help of Jesse. Jesse, help us complete question number 2. Ready? I will play it again.
And a guide published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
I I am not sure. I just understood. I don't know what's the meaning, but something like mental and after criterias.
Okay.
Mental.
Semtal?
No, I am not sure. It's with,
Well,
but after that word, criteria.
after that word criteria, okay. But where is criteria then? In what part of the sentence? Give me complete ideas.
I think it's before doctor, but mental criteria.
But don't tell me the position. Give me complete ideas.
I no teacher. I don't have.
So you want to listen again?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Huge guide with standards by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Action.
I don't have teacher.
You don't have what? ADHD?
No, the sentence.
The sentence?
Yes.
So tell me.
I say, I am not sure, but I am not what but after I can pronounce standard this
Again, let's go to the symbols.
standardize
Exactly.
standardize.
Standardize.
Okay. Mm, standardize. I think the other word and after criteria, but I am not sure.
Okay, another word after criteria. Criteria doctors. Okay, something important that you should try to do in these cases is first trust your ear. We usually don't. We put filters on the things that we listen because we have other habits, other ways to understand things, especially when we are visual people. So trust whatever you are listening to, trust it. The second way is use a pen and try to transcribe, even if you don't know the spelling. When you don't know the word, just try to put something that you are listening to. Even phonetical, doesn't matter that it is correct or incorrect. You are practicing your listening. Got it?
Yes.
So for the third part, I want you to listen again and try to verify the order of words, position of words, etc. Okay?
Okay.
Second part.
Standardized. A key criteria for a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
I think it's just a standardized criteria that doctor use
Good.
for mental disorders. I didn't listen the diagnose.
Exactly. So we didn't listen to diagnose. Good job. Let's see what's up. Okay, that's the part that you have in this moment. I think the third time you actually started using the ability that you're supposed to use. So for you, the next round, we are going to do exactly that. Okay?
Okay.
So let's go now to Isaac. Silvana. Silvana, you're next. Ready? Let's go.
Says a man. Are you going to replay it?
Are you going to tell me more?
Yeah.
Of the second or the third?
Oh, how many do you have
No.
already?
No.
For all of them.
No.
All of them, exactly. Answer them.
Are we in the second one?
We are in the second one yet.
Okay. A manual published by the American Psychiatric Association.
Okay.
It's essentially a huge guide.
Wait. A manual published by the American.
Psychiatric.
Spanglish.
Psychiatric.
Kia, no. Chiatric.
Psychiatric.
Excellent. Psychiatric.
Okay.
Good. American.
Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide. With Standardized criteria.
Criteria and not criterias, right?
I think that yes, criteria.
Okay.
That doctors okay.
Doctors.
Use for, I think that is used to
Exactly.
diagnose mental disorders.
Mental disorders. Exactly. The idea ends in disorders. And it's super important here that, for example, Rafa heard a diagnose. Yes, it didn't hear the diagnose, but that's because we are focusing too much in the connector for. Remember that connector for is never used before a verb. You cannot say, this is for study English. The correct form is, this is to study English. Never for.
Is it for studying English?
Exactly, but that's not a verb.
Oh, yes, yes.
You see? So every time you use for, you need to expect a noun. Okay? For that specific reason, for was blocking our listening. The correct way is to. Doctors use to diagnose mental disorders. Okay? Let's listen again so we can confirm the transcription. Good job, Silvana. Very, very good.
And a guide with standardized the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes. What about the rest? Did you listen all the words?
Yes, true.
Right? Well, that's super important to do. Trust your ears. Your ears are the most important part for English. Reading is not going to help you for understanding. Reading is very good for comprehension, for explanations, for let's say for a slow time of retention of information. But for quick comprehension, we need to use our ears. Never use the letters in your mind. Okay, so let's go with number 3. Isaac, you're next. What are the 5 criteria established by DSM to tell if you have ADHD? Start with number 1.
And according to the latest edition, if you do meet these criteria, the good news is first you need mental disorders. And according to the latest edition, there are 5 big things that need to be checked off to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
Action.
No, come on. Too much information.
Then, what do you have?
The first is to show a persistent patterns, and then I have a space in blank
Okay.
before the age of 12. And then there is again a space in blank that interfere with your social or academics or something like that.
Okay. Okay, let's check 2 pronunciations.
Yeah.
Number 1.
¿Qué?
Interfere?
Exactly.
Interfere? Okay.
With conviction, interfere.
Interfere.
That's right. And the other one is this one.
And social. Social. Social.
Again, let's separate it. Number one,
Okay. So.
so. Excellent.
So.
Number two,
Shall.
the L. You need to make
Social.
an English L, not a Spanish L. The English L is a twisted L.
Okay.
Oh, because in Spanish it's la la la
Oh.
la la la. And the transition from sh to l is very difficult.
Shall.
Show.
Show.
Exactly. That's an American L.
Social.
So, social. Very good.
Social. Oh, yes, that's
If you
difficult.
pronounce
Social.
it's different, no?
Yeah.
If you pronounce the Spanish L, you will struggle with consonants.
Yeah.
The social interaction, social media.
Okay. Social.
Social. Very good.
Social. Okay.
Very, very good. So let's do it again.
Yep.
ability or more than the existent patterns of it to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
I didn't catch. Well, let's see. First, I think that it mentioned first to show a person's patterns.
You can, Isaac. Do it, man.
Yes.
And then before the age of 12.
Okay.
Let me see. Version. Be present in 2 or more different settings.
Is that after before the age of 12?
Yes, it's after. If after is
Be present.
before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, I think.
Okay.
And that's it.
And interfere with social and academics. Right? Or do we erase the rest?
No, I think that we need that part.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yes. But I don't have the rest.
Okay, so let's listen again. Final play.
If abilities more than persistent pattern off to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
No, I couldn't add more information. Well, I think that the first part is first. You need to show a persist patterns. Before, and then I didn't catch anything before, and I only can add at the end interfere with social, academic, and professional.
Exactly.
Professional something. And that's it.
Perfect, man. Well, we can talk about a lot of retention matters that we need to take care of. We need to find a way to take notes that can help you get more information in your short memory, because the complete word writing is impossible. That is a very, very bad idea. In my case, for example, every time I hear the word first, I imagine the number 1, not the word. So there are some hacks that you should try to find, no? Like try to find a kind of visual cue that makes easy to remember words.
Okay, yes. Actually, that's a good advice.
It
That,
really helps.
yes, and I think that it was, well, for example, with the first one, it's the answer didn't have as much information as it has, so it's more difficult to remember all the information for this question.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's about first understanding how many points we have,
Mm-hmm.
and then make visual cues in your imagination that can separate
Yes.
the five of them. That's how my brain works. But sometimes I understand I don't give these type of tips because sometimes it doesn't apply to everybody. So
Yeah,
if it
but well,
helps you,
yes, I will try with it, and then maybe it could help me to improve this part.
then that's gonna help you.
Yeah.
Now that's the first part. My comment about retention. The second part goes about mistakes. You repeat it constantly, a persistent patterns, and you repeated it like 4 times.
Yes,
You
and it's in plural, no?
exactly.
Yes, persistent patterns only.
Be careful on that one. There
Yeah.
are some points that when you are focusing so much on one section, you don't pay attention to the other. So it's about putting a full idea together.
Yes.
Like don't let go the first part if you're focusing on the second part. Put it together, like consider it part of the sentence.
Yes, and yes, I think that if I don't have the complete information, maybe I can review that it is correct. I mean, the
Uh-huh.
structure is correct. Yeah.
Exactly. Like reading, you will say like, hey, remove the a, and that can let me know.
Okay. See. Yeah.
Good. Good. Let's go to the next one. Go, Rafa. You're gonna complete the information. Ready? Let's go.
If mobility or more persists to be checked off to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
Teacher, sorry.
Yes.
Can we restart? There was music for my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Restart. Let's go.
You need to show things that need to be checked off to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
Okay. Interfere with your social, academic, and professional ability. There was a word. I left my my book my workbook in out, so I didn't wrote. Uh,
Didn't write.
I didn't write it. Uh, Let me open a notebook here for the second chance.
Okay.
I'm I'm ready for another chance.
Let's go. Second chance.
Yeah.
But to show things that need to be checked off to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
Okay. First, before the H2, at least be present in 2 or more different settings. Yes, at least.
Okay, before the age 12, at least. At least be present in 2 or more different settings, okay?
And uh, and academic and professional abilities, and don't be quote.
And don't, okay, and don't be quote. Do you know what is quote?
Yeah, I know what is quote, but it sounds like quote, but it is not this quote. I think so.
What's the other quotes that you're talking about?
I I listen I listened
I
quote.
have heard.
I have heard quote.
In what context?
So this academic and professional abilities, and don't be what?
No. I mean, you said that it sounds similar to quote. What sounds similar to quote, the word or the video?
The word of the video was similar to this quote.
Ah,
Quote is a
okay, exactly.
phrase of the book or of
Yes. That is literal.
yeah.
When you quote a book, you are taking a literal phrase from or a extract of information from a source in particular.
Yeah.
That is the quote that we are talking about in this case.
Okay.
Yes,
It's
yes,
correct.
that's super important. Yes,
Okay.
yes. That's why I wanted to make you sure that you understand that, because this can help you.
Yeah, I
What we
know
have here.
what is quote, so I didn't expect uh,
This word
this.
here.
Yeah.
Well, the DSM is a manual, and she is describing the 5 criteria. So
Yeah.
when she
First
says quote,
is
it means that in the DSM it's literally the way she is going to say it.
before the
Okay?
this teacher before the age of 12, this pattern I'll at least be present, correct?
This pattern,
Yeah.
I don't remember. You tell me if
But
it's correct.
I maybe it's incorrect. So
Third repetition.
yeah.
Let's go. Final repetition.
If you and persistent be checked off to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
Moment.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. First, don't be quote better explained by other mental disorder.
Exactly. This, when you say quote, you need to write a comma and don't be quote, comma, then quotation marks because you are quoting.
Okay, quote.
Better
Okay.
explain. Better explain by what?
By other mental disorder.
Other mental disorder. And
Yeah.
we keep it like that. If you see point number 5, it's exactly literally like that.
Yeah. Not better.
You see? Not better
Not better. Explain.
and not better.
by another, yes, by another mental state.
By another, exactly.
And in after different settings, I think is 2 points. How dos puntos
That in English is a colon.
column?
Yep. But how do you know it's a colon?
Because it's like two two or more different settings, and after uh, she she told the the settings. No, interfere with your social, academic, and professional abilities, and don't be quote.
But
No,
are they the settings?
no.
It depends on the words that we have here.
Well, in case it's incorrect, so I I think we need to erase these 15 points.
The suspensive points.
Yeah.
Oh, kinda. I
Oh,
think you are guessing. You are
yeah,
connecting
comma,
without listening.
comma.
No. You are guessing and you are connecting words that are not supposed to be connected because you are
Okay.
using your logic, but you are not using your ears. It's listening day, not logic day.
I didn't hear, uh, I haven't heard uh, a word here in
Exactly.
between settings and interfere.
Then your option is a colon, but you have also the option of a period, and you have also the option of a comma.
Yeah.
So how are you very sure that it's a colon? That doesn't make sense.
A comma. I think it's a comma.
Let's see. Let's see. That's gonna help us. Yesi. Okay.
Okay.
Let's check. Yesi, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Let's listen.
Better determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder.
I just listen categories before
Yes.
at least. I am not sure categories, but I am not sure. But when I am sure that it's before at least, but
But
I
don't tell me position of words. You don't tell me. Don't use the text as a map. Tell me
sorry.
a complete sentence. It's like when you heard categories,
Yeah.
read the next idea, the next section, so I can locate myself. You know,
Okay.
because if you say before at least, I will type before at least.
Okay.
So in the position where you heard categories, read the next sentence, the next phrase, so I can get located.
Um. mm, 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 I am not sure. I think with at least be present in 2 or more different settings, but I need to listen another time.
Okay. Let's listen again. Second repetition.
Ability or show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms when one has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder. If you do
Action.
I listen something like evental. Evental, I am one. Evental, I don't know, and categories before the age.
Exactly. Events or whatever. Something like events, something like that. Categories.
Before,
Before the age of 12. Am I right?
Yes.
What else?
No, teacher, that's all.
That's all. Okay. Final repetition.
Meet onset symptoms patterns of at least
I'm going to help you just checking the first sentence. Okay?
Yes.
ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of at least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12.
Decentals?
This one.
Decentals? I am not sure the word. Decentals at 2 categories, something like
The
that.
sentence are 2 categories. Then you are not connecting the topic of the video with the listening. What is the name of a part? So something that happens to your body that shows that you are sick.
Disease?
No, because disease is when you are sick.
Like,
The
okay.
reactions in your body.
Yes, but I am not sure in English. Symptom?
Does it match the audio?
Yes.
The word was symptom.
Yes. But I am not sure where I listen.
Well, listen again. The mysterious word that you are trying to check, because you said, "Hey, I don't know what is this word." You said you used a phonetic that you don't know, or you used the phonetics in the audio, trying to form a word that you don't know. Well, you know the word. The word is symptom,
Yes.
right? And it's in the video clearly. Listen again.
Be 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12.
I listen. The symptom had
Exactly.
2 categories.
The symptoms have 2 categories.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are getting confused because it was in the wrong position. Yes. What is happening here? What is happening here is there are some distractions in the video, or we are getting distracted because it's too much information. Because we are not considering where the first idea finishes and where the next idea starts. So for everybody in this case, we need to use the visual help. The woman literally gives you one idea when there is number one. Idea number two when the number two is on the screen. Idea number three when it's going screen, and so on. It's very well organized. So the way you can help yourself in this type of information is to get a visual representation. You have a video in front of you. So idea number one is divided from idea number two. Idea number two is divided from idea number three. Do you understand what I'm saying, or not?
Yes, teacher.
Right? But do you know why this is helpful?
Yes. Just for divide ideas, I think.
Right. So you can transform all this paragraph in 5 points, and that
Yes.
becomes easier. I think everybody had this issue with this paragraph. So that's gonna be the thing. Please complete it. Complete it for homework. I need to go to the next class. Let's stop over here. And if you finish it, please send it to me. Okay? Let's keep it over here.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
All right, my people. Let's hit it. Keep practicing. Don't stop over here, and I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, thanks. Have a nice weekend.
Teacher.
Have a nice weekend, guys. See you later.
See you.
See you, teacher. Bye.
Bye, guys.